Hey guys, welcome to Last Movie Standing. I may get a little emotional, maybe a little passionate in this video. So just forewarning you, this is not going to be a robotic tech review. Today we are talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 4K from Arrow Video. But before we start, you know there's no way to watch Ninja Turtles without a fresh pizza. I honestly don't know if I've seen anybody talk about the exclusive Arrow box set for this. Everybody seems to get just the original poster, but I went with this one. Begrudgingly, $81. What? Yeah, $81. This is what happens when you pre-order from Arrow and then it goes on sale. I honestly thought about canceling it and just getting it from Amazon because it's like $57.99 right now. With tax, I think it was $64 or something. That's still like $15 cheaper than what I paid for this. But I like this artwork so much more. And I knew I was going to get the original cover arts in here, so it was different art. But I'm a really big fan of the artwork they did for this. They did so much original art. And even the slipcover has like embossing already. You can kind of see it right here with the gloss, I think. But let's check it out. You know, I'll do a small unboxing. I'm going to show you what Arrow did and kind of some things I wish they would have changed, but I'm not really going to hold it against them. So the front, you got the Ninja Turtle shell trilogy. You got the TGRI, ooze canister eking out. This is a really nice box. I really think so. This is probably the biggest Arrow box I have too, with 3 movies. Now, I did put the original artwork on here. Let's start with the first one. The original art, mostly because the spines all kind of line up like this. They're all like green. When you reverse the art, because I really like the custom art that they did here. So when you open it up, you do see the custom art here, which is why I was like, you know what, I'll keep it. But I'm still going back and forth through these. So let me change the artwork. I dig this artwork. I think it's so cool. And everything. You do got Donnie on the spine. Here, I'll show you this real fast. Because this is like one nitpick. I'm going to nitpick something with the packaging. When you do all the originals, you get Mikey, Donnie, and Donnie. They put Donnie on here twice. On 2 and 3, Donnie is both on the spine. Which, you know, small nitpick. You could have put somebody else. But, anyway. So, with the first one, you just get the disc. You know, if you watch some of my previous videos, you know I am transferring all my Arrow cases to clear cases. So, we can put the Blu-ray in with them and have them both in one package. But one really cool thing you get in here is you get these trading cards, these holographic trading cards. Now you get one for each one. There's like 8 in total, 4 in this one. The second one's got 2 and the third one's got 2. You know, really cool info. Let's see if I can like autofocus on this. Boom. Like, I care about trading cards, but they're better than art cards, I think. These are definitely a step up. Here's a nitpick, which I don't know why they did. I don't really care for stickers and things, but they gave us stickers. And these turtles are the design for the 3rd movie. Not the first design, not the second design. Ninja Turtles 3, which is arguably probably everybody's least favorite turtle movie. They gave us the stickers for the 3rd one, which I guess, you know, the 3rd one needs love too. So, when I first saw it, I thought that was a little bit, like, questionable. Or maybe they're mixed. Actually, they're probably mixed. Now that I'm thinking about it, I know Leo is definitely from the 3rd movie. Mikey might be from the 2nd, the design. It's kind of hard to tell in this one. Ralph is definitely from the 3rd movie design. But you get these stickers. I don't really care for their stickers, personally. I love the little cards, though. Next, we got the 2nd movie with Donnie on the spine. Open it up. You got the new artwork, which I really like. You get a poster. You get a poster with all of these. So one of the posters in here, it's too big to fit inside the first case because they give you 3 posters. They're all different sizes, essentially. This first poster is the biggest poster and most, like, high quality of it, of the original, and you get this on the back. So this one actually is big enough, it just slides right in here next to the book. But the second one, you get a smaller poster. It's glossy paper. It's small enough to fit inside the case, where the first one isn't, where you get this art and the newly commissioned artwork, which I really like for this. And I like that they put the text in white. I thought that was a really cool touch. Here are the other 2 art cards you get with this. You get Shredder and you get Splinter. And this is really cool. You get a pizza card, like a business card, with the 8 free slices, or the 7 slices and the 8th one free. That's really cool. That's a cool little touch. Reversible artwork for this. I really like the white. Like I said, it's even got the white on the spine right here. Really cool. On this one, it's got Shredder. The third movie, everybody's probably least favorite. I know this one's got a fan out there somewhere. We'll talk about it when we actually get into the reviews, the side-by-sides, and all that. But here's this. On the inside, we got 1 card for April O'Neil, but they gave us both Aprils, kind of split screen. And then we got Casey, the man. Casey Jones. Again, another poster that's small enough to fit in the case. It's that same glossy material as the second one. I don't know if I really care for the art on, or the commissioned art for the third one. It's on the disc too. It's why I was like the original, and then you see it on here. I would like different art on everything, but let me reverse it. I think it's just Leonardo with, I mean, not Leonardo, Raphael with the mustache that bugs me. All the other art's kind of fine. See if I can get it in focus. And on this one, you got Raph on the side. So here you got the newly commissioned artwork. Here's why I kept the original, because you see how it's like this one has like the white on here. And I was like, it would have been cool if each of them were like a different color text, but I went with the original just because I thought the spines also looked better. See, they just look better with the original artwork. And it's the first time of me having the original artwork, because on the Blu-rays, you kind of had it, but they were like really small in here. The DVDs, I used to have, I got rid of them when I upgraded to the Blu-rays a long time ago. But some of my favorite artwork is still, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, this white artwork is my favorite artwork out of all of them. I absolutely love it. I actually bought this just for the artwork, essentially, but yellow's not bad. I like how they're each like different. You got white, black, and yellow. But we'll talk about that later. Last in this little pack, you get a booklet, Roy's Pizza, with the menu on the side. It makes you really, like, I don't know if you can see these prices on here. Yeah. Pizza and all that are not the same as they were back in 1990, 91, 92, and all that stuff. 93, but really cool. You got the original, like, posters with the info on here. One thing I will say before we get into everything else, the rest is mostly just like pictures and essays. I don't really read the essays, but they got some like really cool like behind the scenes photos with like Jim Henson and the director and everything. Really cool stuff. Alright, so now that we got the unboxing and all that out the way, let's actually talk about the movies. So, my relationship with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles goes way back. way back to before I probably even knew what Ninja Turtles was, when I was just a little kid on an old school skateboard in 1989, having all the clothes, I had basically so much Ninja Turtle stuff. I had a Ninja Turtle birthday party when I was little. Ninja Turtles was everything to me. And getting this set, I thought about, like I said earlier, I was just gonna save some money and get the Amazon one. It would have come later, and that would have been fine and everything, but I really wanted the exclusive artwork. I really wanted this artwork in particularly. I just This box set may be my favorite of the year, and this is maybe where I get a little emotional or personal with it. I was not expecting this box set to bring back so much nostalgia for me. Yes, I have the Blu-rays, I have the VHSs, I had the DVDs, I've had it all on physical media. Maybe one day I'll show off my whole collection. Even have brought this over here. Have the original cartoons. I have so much other stuff too, but watching this, and why I say this may be my favorite box set of the year. I'm not saying my favorite transfer of the year. I'm saying my favorite box set because, guys, the special features in here are absolutely amazing. And I don't think enough people are giving the special features the credit they need. Like, there's so much stuff on all of these discs, like especially the first one. Like, Arrow didn't go and do the video essays. I hate Arrow's video essays. They would have found something phallic about these turtles to talk about. They do it in most all their other stuff. This is just interviews with like the director, the producer, the actors. They brought the original April O'Neil back, which is probably the most touching and heartwarming one ever. Like, you even hear her say she wanted to get invited back for the second one, and you could kind of tell she was heartbroken when she didn't, and it was like, damn. And I grew up loving the second one the most. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is my absolute favorite of the live action movies. And there's a big debate about this whole like, oh, the first one's the best, and I think it matters on how you grew up with the Ninja Turtles. Personally, I grew up not with the comic books. I didn't even know Ninja Turtles was a comic book until like I was in college or something. I grew up with the cartoons. This is what I grew up with. The VHSs, the specials, the clothes, everything was based off the cartoons, not the movie. Where this movie was made more for the comic book fans. It's darker, it's edgier, it's literally darker. It's filmed mostly at night, and it's got this grittiness to it. Where the second movie is more fun and more poppy and more lively and more animated, and that's what I like about it. They even go as far as to differentiate it. Well, they changed April, I think, because of that, because they were changing the style of it. So they got a much, I guess, prettier looking April. I think it's prettier. I love the April from the second and third. I find her so pretty and fun. I just like her. But even Shredder, like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, Shredder wears red, like in the comic books. In the second one, he wears purple, like in the cartoons. So, that's something that didn't even click. Me and Q, the movie collector, were talking about this, and it kind of clicked to both of us. It was like, oh my God, I never really put two and two together like that. And then the third one is just the third one. I think most people shit on it a little too hard, but it's definitely the weakest of the three. And we'll get into that too when we talk about the side-by-sides. But, guys, I don't know what it was, but rewatching this like opened a whole like nostalgia wave for me that I was not expecting. Like, I got emotional watching the special features. That may sound stupid, but I did, and I don't know really why that was. I think it was just remembering how much this franchise meant to me, because yes, I have all this on physical media, but as most of you guys know who own so much stuff, I don't watch the Ninja Turtles every year. I don't watch it every other year. I can't remember really the last time I've watched the Blu-ray set before this. It's probably been at least 5 years. I think I rewatched it during COVID and not since. But watching the movies is one thing, but having all, these fun facts you didn't know, like the special features in this are absolutely incredible. I didn't know Sally Mink was the editor of the first one. Sally Mink, who is Quentin Tarantino's editor, I didn't know Sam Rockwell was in the first movie, It's like so many little things. Like the director of this said he did the Michael Jackson Billie Jean music video. And the director grew up, his mom was a script supervisor, and him and his mom directed their first movies the same year. It's like, it's kind of crazy. But actually seeing the real life Ninja Turtles in real life, like talk about it, and then hearing Michelangelo's, voice do the voice in real life was like, dude, it was crazy to me because Michelangelo is my favorite. My middle name is Michael. My dad always called me Mikey growing up. My dad never called me Brian. He always called me Mikey. So I always had a special relationship to Michelangelo and everything. He's always been my favorite turtle. He's always the most fun one. And, there was parts of this, behind the scenes that Arrow did that taught me a lot that I didn't know and kind of like put things into perspective that I didn't really know either, or put together. Like April was like saying, these are teenagers, and April is like the first girl they ever encounter. So that kind of helps with that whole them all having a crush on her. And it was like, pff, of course. Like, of course. And I'm not going to get into what everybody, the Michael Bay ones, because Megan Fox, I love the Michael Bay ones. And it goes similar to this. We're going to get back to talking about this, but I'm just going to throw this in there. Like, it's the same with the first and second one. Like, the first one is obviously the more darker, edgier one. And the second one is much more cartoony and fun. And I think I like the second one way better just because it's more cartoony and fun. So for me, growing up with Ninja Turtles, it wasn't about the edgy, Last Ronin and the comic books and, the weapons. Bro, I was in college when I found out. A friend had to tell me, was like, bro, in the second one, they don't even use weapons. Bro, I never caught that because I'm so just hooked on the Turtles. Like, I think the second movie has one of the best opening scenes of all time with that pizza montage, But I don't know. It's just something about this franchise. It was always with me as a kid, and it just re-watching this and having this brought back so much to me. So that's why I'm going to say, for me, this is box set of the year. Not just about the transfers, not just about the little trading cards or, everything. It's new artwork. Like, I really feel like this is absolutely amazing. And let's get into the transfers. So, as of right now, I have not watched this. Watched them all. I just got this in. I watched all the special features first. But I wanted to do this video where I watch it and then come to y'all fresh with it. I've already ripped them on this, so I'll have the side-by-sides when I talk about it. But I haven't officially watched them yet. So right now, I'm going to go watch the first one, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to do that with each one.
12 o'clock midnight.
Yeah, I just marathoned them all. Multiple times. I did the 4Ks, and then I just watched the Blu-Rays. And I didn't skim through them. I had them on and watched them. Mostly in the background. I paid attention to the 4Ks and the Blu-rays. I was doing other stuff and kind of watching it. And this is going to be a little harder than I thought it would be. Just because this really comes down to preference. And preference in many different things. Grain. If you don't like grain, they're grain. It's there. In the first one, for sure. In the second one. The third, So, we'll talk about the third one. The third one looks fine. The third one looks like it's shot on digital compared to the other ones. When was the third one? Like 93, 90? It was like still early 90s, right? It looked digital in comparison to the other two. But I'm going to just assume you've seen the Ninja Turtles before, so I'm not going to talk to you about the story, any of that. Let's just go straight into the transfer.
Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
So the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is done. It's the only one out of the three done from the original camera negative. But there is a part of it that was done from the inner positive. Now, I'm going to make a whole video about this separately because I have a lot to say about this and how there are certain people on YouTube who just decide to bash the crap out of inner positives and just we'll get there. We'll get there. That's another video. But this first movie is the original camera negative. And, ooh, do you see grain? I think it looks good. I think the colors look really good. April O'Neil, like when she has her iconic yellow jacket on at the beginning, I feel like the colors just pop a little bit more. Here's the thing, though, that people got to understand. Ninja Turtles 1 is a low-budget indie film. Most people probably think it's this big studio thing. It's not. It is an independent movie. In the behind the scenes, they talk about, their original budget was $3 million. And that was before they brought Jim Henson in to do the outfits, and they raised it to $7 million, and they had to figure out how to make the money, so they had to constantly sell the rights out to people. That's why New Line got it. New Line paid like $2 million for the rights. So, and that was just for them to finish the movie, essentially. But it's a very low budget movie, and there are scenes where the grain is a lot more noticeable than others. If you're gonna reference the flashback, so here's the thing, and I didn't know this until the special features, but the flashbacks are all done on Super 8mm, and they did that on purpose. But you can really tell the difference. So if you're watching it and it's just this one little part where you see the flashbacks and you're like, ooh, that looks a little rough or super grainy. It's because it's 8mm footage. Everything else looks good, I think. But you got to understand, too, this movie is primarily shot at night. Not too many daytime or bright scenes. Even the interiors are dark. I don't know if they did that to kind of make up for the costumes, in the animatronics and things like that, but it's the only one that looks like grungy and darker and grainy, and the 4K really holds up to that. The only thing that may throw you off, and why I say preference thing, is color. So if you've seen this a certain way for so long and then you see it this way, it may throw you off. And I'm going to talk about one scene in particular, and that's the foot headquarters. So on the Blu-ray, it is like warm, and it looks a little bit more natural. On the 4K, it's blue. It is like a whole different color. And it's not just this one scene with Sid packing the boxes. It's like anytime you go down to the Foot Clan, with the skateboarders and everything and the kids, it's a lot bluer. Everything else feels warmer, which is kind of ironic. I'm not gonna be like, I saw this in theaters, and dude, I wouldn't even. Yeah, I was born 1990, 91. I was too young to see this in theaters. I was like 3 or 4, but yeah, it's definitely got that darker vibe, but I'm going to just go off preference. I think, honestly, the one part I thought would shine more on the 4K, but doesn't, is the fire scene when, the Foot Clan break into April O'Neil's apartment, and they have that big fight, and the Foot guy hits the thing with the axe, and the whole place catches on fire. I for some reason thought the 4K of the Fire would pop more, or the HDR Dolby Vision would enhance it like a certain way, but it kind of doesn't. It kind of neutralizes. I didn't want to use the word flattens it out. It kind of neutralizes it a little bit. But here's the thing: the Blu-ray is from 2012. That's the transfer, and it's a good transfer. The Blu-ray is honestly really good. On all three of these, the Blu-rays were really good. I have zero complaints on the Blu-ray at all, other than you got a 25 gig disc versus, I think it's 100 gig. I didn't even check that. Yep, 3 rings, 100 gig. So for a movie that is like this dark and how it's shot and everything, I think this 4K looks phenomenal. I think it does. There was zero parts where I was like squinting, trying to see anything. Like, I could see everything all the time, and it held up tremendously great. I think the skin tones look way more natural, or just natural in general. I don't want to say way more, because I think the Blu-ray is surprisingly strong for being like, what, 13 years old? 2012 is when the individual DVDs Blu-rays came out, and when the 3-pack came out. Because they're all individual. If it was like 3 movies on one disc, that would be like totally different. But I think the old Blu-rays hold up surprisingly. But the 4K is really good, especially for this one. And yes, it is the original camera negative. So let's get to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Now, this is the one that is from an Inner Positive. 4K restoration from the Inner Positive. Now, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but there's been a couple things I've seen where people really downplay this Inner Positive. And it's like, well, it's an Inner Positive, so of course it's going to be less better or whatever. But, I mean, let's look at it.
Please, a moment to reflect.
Now, I gotta say, this opening scene has always been one of my favorite things ever. It just gets you hyped into the movies. Now, like I said, 2 has always been my favorite, but I will admit the first movie is a better movie. It is a much better, just all-around movie. This is a fun movie. Completely different tone, you know. They made it more for kids. It was more upbeat. It was brighter, and you're going to see that in this transfer, because I think this transfer is really, really good. I think both. I think the Blu-ray also looks fantastic. But it's definitely brighter on this 4K. And like I said, preference. It doesn't really have any dramatic color changes like the first movie had. The first movie, there's a couple scenes where the color is completely different. This one, I didn't notice any of that. And I did notice an increase in brightness in a couple of scenes that didn't bother me. But if you watch them both, you know, it could be like, you know, how you remember it, if it's a little darker or whatever. It's totally up to you, but I like it. I think it holds up very, very well. This is also the one where we do get a brand new April O'Neil. And I like both April O'Neils, but I really like this one too. I like this one. I'm not going to go on a who's the hottest April O'Neil, because we all know the cartoon version wins. But it's definitely brighter. For sure, it's brighter. But I don't think in a bad way. I think the brightness definitely helps it a little bit. Now, is the Blu-ray on TV as dark as what I'm showing you now? No. Your TV settings will obviously like control it a lot more. This is just ripped from the disc. So when you put the disc in the player, your player is going to process it a certain way. Your TV is going to process it a certain way. So don't take this fully as, you know, the final thing. And like, oh, like this is just straight from the disc. But I like it. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I don't care if it's an Inner Positive. You know, I think it looks good. I think they both look good. But obviously the original Blu-ray is much darker for this one. This is a lot more of a noticeable difference in, I don't want to use the word quality, but I'm going to say brightness at all, because I don't know, to me it just looks good. It looks good. I like it. But I don't mind the other one either when I'm watching it on the TV. Because I looked at this, I'm like, this looks dark. Put the Blu-ray, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's darker, but not that much. Like, I'll show you a very small clip of, I recorded the TV separately. So here are the two, like, ripped straight off the disc. And this is from just a camera off the TV, same settings. So don't take the filming the TV as like the direct guide, but I wanted to kind of show you, like, it's still darker. And the grain is still there, for sure. Not near as much as the first one. I feel like because the first one is from the original camera negative, it is going to just produce so much more grain. This doesn't have that as much, which I appreciate. The first one is like, it's not distracting. I don't mind grain at all, but it can be sometimes a little noticeable, where in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, it's not that as noticeable as it is in the first one. And, I mean, come on. We got Vanilla Ice, go ninja, go. We got the ninja rap, which, I'm sorry, as a kid, I love. I still love as an adult. Bro, this isn't Vanilla Ice, but my first concert I ever went to was MC Hammer. That's, like, not here or there, but just to show you a little bit about me and the music I listened to growing up. Listened to MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, all that stuff. So, Go Ninja, Go was, like, iconic to me. And every time I hear it, even today, I get excited. I want to get up and dance, like, when that scene comes on. So I love it. I know it's stupid. I know it's corny. It's whatever. Then you get Super Shredder, who I think looks cool as hell. But, I mean, I get it. Now let's get to number 3.
What? Mikey?
So, I don't care what anybody says about this movie. It's got the best shot of any Ninja Turtles. And that's this opening scene. This silhouette shot with the sun, it is too good to be in this movie. Honestly, it is way too good to be in this movie. But I think it is the best shot of all 3 of these movies if we're talking cinematically. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, how do I describe this movie to somebody? This is, if you watch TV shows, this is the straight to DVD, straight to video version of the Ninja Turtles in the franchise. This is that episode in a TV series that makes no sense. This is the throwaway. You know, if you're watching TV and you have that one episode where it's like they go back in time, or it's a flashback, or it's a musical episode, or something completely random. That's what Ninja Turtles 3 is. This is honestly the best this movie is ever going to look. And I honestly consider us fortunate that we got it on 4K. It doesn't have to be good. But here's the thing. If they released this individually, nobody would buy this. So we get it on 4K. We get a new restoration. Yes, it's from it's from the Inner Positive, but they did the work. They restored it. And the funny part is, so this was shot on film, obviously, but it looks so good. It looks like it was shot on digital. Like, it looks that way. It's super clean. It's almost like that movie that nobody watched and it just sat there untouched. So it looks like that good. I honestly feel like that's like what the restoration. It was probably super easy for them because the Blu-ray looks good too. This one is brighter, obviously, and that could be the Dolby Vision, it could be the HDR. It's brighter, but it looks really good. It looks good on both editions. It's probably the best looking, but I attribute that more to the filmmaking. And that's going to be a whole, like I said, I got another video coming out about original camera negatives and inner positives, because I feel like some people just don't understand what those are. And Obviously, this is like the best looking out of it, but I think that's subjective too, because the lighting looks like a sitcom show in a lot of this. Like this is like the goofy sitcom, like I said, it is the straight to video a version of this. Where Ninja Turtles 1 is cinema, it's like independent cinema. Ninja Turtles 2 is like more of a high budget, shot a lot more in the daytime, probably at a better cinematographer. And this one is just like hire the guy who shot episode 24 of Saved by the Bell, kind of a thing. It looks different. It looks like like a sitcom, but honestly, it still looks better than a lot of the 4Ks coming out today in comedies. Like, it looks better than Ace Ventura on 4K. It looks better than a lot of other more newer 4Ks, I should say. But one of the biggest problems, besides just the look, is they changed the design of the turtles, and there's something that really, once you see it, I'm apologizing if you've never noticed it. I'm about to ruin it for you. They changed the designs of the turtles. So under their eyes is the hole for the actor's eyes, and it is so prominent in the third movie. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like right under their mask. It's like right there. It's like they're not even hiding it, And I mean, I'll say this. Okay, so Jim Henson, who did the first one, he passed away. The second one is dedicated to him. I don't really remember if he was working on the second one when he died, or if he died before the second one. I know his son, and the whole Jim Henson Studios stayed on. I don't know if they did for the third one or not, but you can just definitely tell. Different design, different voice actor for Splinter, which was kind of weird. But the third one, it exists. It's not the worst movie in the world, but it's the worst out of the Ninja Turtles, I would say. It's just, like I said, it's that one episode of television that you just ignore. It's that one random thing. But the transfer looks really good. I think the brightness actually helps it, to be honest. It helps give it that sitcom-y kind of look, but yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the third one other than
We have no time for this.
Yes, Master. Come on, guys, let's go.
So that is my review of the Arrow exclusive 4K box set. Now, there's a ton of other reviews online, mostly just giving their opinions. I tried to actually show you something. Make up your own mind. Like I said, this is hard because it really comes down to preference. Do you like grain? Do you like it brighter, or do you like it darker? It's really up to you. I think the colors look fine in all of it, from the Blu-ray to the 4K. I think the colors hold up on all transfers. But if you're a collector and if you really love the Ninja Turtles, I mean, this is on sale right now on Amazon. It's, was it like $57.99, like $60? 60 divided by 3 is 20, so you're essentially getting 3 movies for $20 each, plus a booklet and some cards and some all that stuff. But if you are just content with your Blu-rays, I don't think this is not mind-blowing. It is not like this is not transfer of the year. As I said at the beginning, to me, this may be box set of the year just because of the nostalgia it brought back to me, being a Turtles fan. Sometimes you forget what something means to you because, we're watching so many different things. We're collecting so many different things that revisiting our childhood sometimes gets forgotten. And when I say I got emotional watching the special features of this and rewatching the first one and all that, like it really hit me. And that may sound stupid to you, but as a grown man, sometimes you forget that child inside of you, and you forget how hard nostalgia can really hit you. Like watching this honestly was like watching home videos as a kid, like in my memory. And for me, that means so much more than just how a transfer looks or which box set I got. For me, it reminded me of who I was as a kid. Because sometimes I forget that. And that's why I'm putting this as my favorite box set of the year. Not my favorite transfers, but my favorite overall box set.
I'd say that's pretty much a wrap. Yep. Cowabunga?
Cowabunga!
Yeah!
Cowabunga!